look at that, I'm back. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Izzy Nobry and this is the Izzy Nobry Show. Now, just to get a few things out of the way. First, the reason this is going on is because, well, this leads me into my second point. I'm now finishing EMT school. Some of you guys might know that. I mentioned it on Twitter. And I'm going on practicum soon in the town of Mayerthorpe, which is about 4 hours away from Calgary. So I'm gonna have to go there every 4 days to work with other fellow EMTs and paramedics. So that's why I had to do this. We have to get fitted for a certain mask, and it wouldn't work with the beard, so I'm gonna have to be rocking the goatee for a while. It might be that they won't even let me have this, so I might have to go completely clean shaven from here on out. I'll find out in a couple of days. So that's what's been going on with me lately. I've been crazy busy, as you can imagine, and these English videos, because they don't really pay the bills like my Portuguese channel, it's kind of low in the priority list, but here I am. Anyway, let's talk about the Apple Watch real quick. So the Apple Watch was announced a while back, and it's going on pre-orders tomorrow, April 10th. It launches officially on April 24th. Not totally new. We already have similar smartwatches, and in my opinion, actually do better than what the iPod, than what the Apple Watch is bringing to the table. I keep f***ing up and wanting to say iPod Watch. I don't know why. I thought that the Apple Watch was pretty underwhelming. I watched the announcement video, and they weren't showing a lot of things that make you go, oh yeah, I could really use that. I really want that. There just wasn't that factor in what they showed. And at one point, they showed this feature where you can draw on your watch, and then that drawing gets beamed to your friend's iPod. An Apple Watch, and I'm thinking, am I really gonna pay $350 for the ability to draw dicks on my wrist and then send it to my friend's Apple Watch? I mean, it's so gimmicky. That's the thing, it's so gimmicky. I get that people will say, oh, but you got the health and fitness stuff going on too. Well, sure, yeah, okay. But the problem is that the market is already flooded with things that do exactly that for much cheaper. Like, I got this thing here. It's the Nike Fuel Band. And even back when it was still a thing, because I think they don't even make these things anymore, it was like $100. So with the iPhone Apple Watch, you're paying $250 on top of that for some added features that just seem completely pointless. If you think about it, the fact that the watch only works as a satellite device to your smartphone, doing basically the same things, is already kind of a deal breaker for me. I don't need a small screen on my wrist when I can just as easily pull the phone out of my pocket or check whatever it is that I need to check when it's in my hand, which that's where it is most of the time anyway. It seems almost silly because you got this thing on your wrist that's going to give you a notification, and then to check the notification, to really be able to interact with whatever it is that's making your watch beep, you're gonna have to pull your phone out, because there's no fucking way I'm gonna be standing in line at the grocery store and trying to type out a message on my wrist. It's not happening. Not to mention, if you think about it, we're kind of taking a step back, because when you have to do something on your phone, your Apple Watch, basically both of your hands are busy with that task, because you got one hand right here. You can't be doing anything with this because you're looking at the screen. Then you have the other hand actually typing stuff out or drawing dicks or whatever it is that you're doing on this freaking watch. So the alternative is to check that with one hand on my phone, or occupy both of my hands doing something. And remember, I paid $350 at a minimum for that luxury, because there's like the super, speaking of luxury, there's the super luxury model. It's like made out of gold and runs on unicorn blood or something. I don't know. It costs $17,000, dude. Like, the people who would actually want to buy this are like, it's not a very large demographic. You have Steve Jobs himself, if he were alive, Jay-Z, and the guy who invented Uber. I think that's it. I've been an Apple fanboy for a while now, and even I can't jump in the bandwagon. I mean, I don't really see the point for smartwatches as is, and buying a smartwatch on a premium seems even more of a waste of money. If pre-orders just blow up like they usually do for new product launches for Apple, then I'll admit I was wrong. But the problem is, even the reviewers that actually had the watch with them and actually used the features and all that, even they are saying skip this one because the second gen is going to be probably a lot better. Now, that's always the case. The one that they put out next year is always going to be better than the one they put out this year. But even with, say, the iPad, right? The first iPad compared to the ones that we have today was garbage, basically. It was too expensive, didn't have enough storage, wasn't fast enough, didn't have a camera. You got all that. You know they're going to fix all of that stuff next year. But the first iPad already had a certain use to it, right? So if you're a photographer, it's pretty cool to have your catalog with you. You can show your pictures to clients or something like that. If you're a comic book reader like myself, the very first time I saw the iPad, the very first thing I wanted to do with the iPad is still the main thing I do with my iPad today, which is read comics, right? Watch movies, bigger screen, read books, all of that stuff. Those are features that it was very clear when you saw the iPad, you're like, oh, I can use it for this. For the Apple Watch, not really, you don't have that. You know, like, oh, I'll check my notifications on my watch. And then my watch is gonna, now I'm gonna have two things vibrating when I get a fucking text message. Something else that I have to charge at night, $350. Just not doing it for me.
New from Apple, the Apple Watch. For when you need to do a thing you already have a phone for.
But tell me what you think about the Apple Watch. I know there's gonna be some people who think it's gonna be the second coming of Jesus. Some people will buy it, I'm sure. But this Apple fanboy isn't buying it. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Anyway, I'm Izzy and I'm done.